Good afternoon. I am Dr. Donald Matz, Chair of the Anatomy Department. On behalf of Ed Christofferson, our anatomical coordinator of our body donor program, and the faculty and staff of the Department of Anatomy, I would like to welcome DMU administration, faculty, staff, students, and especially our extended DMU family, the families of those individuals who donated their bodies to further the education of our medical professionals. Our faculty and staff take great pride in the teaching of human anatomy and working with the gift your family members gave to Des Moines University. You can see by the written tributes that all of our students in the College of Osteopathic Medicine, College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery, and the College of Health Sciences are deeply touched by the gift that your loved one gave to Des Moines University. Students, now you see your body donors as they were in life from the heartfelt pictures that were sent to us by their families for this service. And know that the donors lived incredible lives, but each one had one more wish to give to humanity. They came to the decision for one more donation, an offer of themselves to have a significant part in the training of the future healthcare professionals. I have often discussed with our students that these donors, now silent, speak loudly to them as their teachers of this basic scientific knowledge of medicine. We, their faculty, are the facilitators of their learning with their artwork, and that is their human anatomy. Without the gift your family members have given to DMU, we would not be able to lay the foundational component necessary to further their knowledge of the art of medicine. This service is to honor the lives, the donations, and the spirit of the individuals who, with their donation and gift, are an integral part of the DMU community. This service also gives the DMU community the opportunity to honor the donor spirit with their donation. Students honor our donors in a number of ways. Students, along with the tributes, pay their respects by creating humanities and gross anatomy projects. We call them HUGA projects for short. You saw a few of those at the back of the Educational Center today. Today, they also honor our donors with their attendance and participation in the service as musicians, speakers, and singers. Student classes have also dedicated memorial trees on campus, particularly the physician assistant classes of 2014 and this past year, the class of 2017. The trees are located in the green space just behind the parking lot of Ryan Hall. It is a beautiful day, so feel free to walk around the campus and check out those trees. So today, we, the university community, gather to pay our respects to the spirit of our body donors and to their families, our extended DMU family. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Angela Franklin, President of Des Moines University. Thank you all for coming to join us as we give a heartfelt thank you to the family and friends of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and given unselfishly to advance the training of our future healthcare providers. All over the world, as each new generation of students begin their studies in medicine and other clinical disciplines, they will study the structure of the human body to understand how it functions and to learn how the normal function is altered by disease. Thanks to the work of an early Flemish anatomist and physician, learning anatomy through dissection is an irreplaceable and privileged part of a practitioner's training. The science of medicine has been advanced thanks to the human sacrifice of those who made this commitment. It is an awesome contribution. Your loved ones, grandmothers, grandfathers, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends have given us an invaluable gift which we respect and honor. This is the day that we honor their contribution to science and education, What a noble legacy. Des Moines University, as a health sciences university, is committed to providing the best educational experiences and clinical training for our students. We're dedicated to primary care, prevention, and the delivery of compassionate, patient-centered care. Professional integrity and respect for others are also primary tenets of the expectations we have for our future caregivers. We also require that students maintain sensitivity and respect for those who give of themselves to aid in their training, whether they are alive and well or deceased as donors. That we can assure you. However, at this moment, we also acknowledge your sorrow. There's a quote I recall which states, "Death leaves a heartache no one can heal, but love leaves a memory no one can steal." As you reflect on this gift which has been given to us and our students by your loved ones, we also thank you for your personal sacrifice and commitment in letting go of the physical being and embracing the memory of the spirit of the person who is no longer with us. We recognize how difficult this may be, but hope you find comfort in knowing that they have provided an invaluable service. So I close with this. Those we love remain with us, for love itself lives on, and cherished memories never fade because a loved one's gone. Those we love can never be more than a thought apart, for as long as there is memory, they will live on in your hearts. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Robertson, and as a president of the first-year DO students, I was asked to say a few words on behalf of my class. It was challenging for me to decide what I could say today. I kept asking myself, how can I justly honor someone in death to the people who knew them in life so well? It is challenging because we recognize that each donor represents a great loss in your lives. A loss of someone whom you loved, someone whom you undoubtedly miss, possibly a mother, a sister, a husband, or a dear friend. Someone who in their last act of love and selflessness offered us the profound gift of life. To say that we are eternally grateful for the short amount of time that we were able to spend with them seems inadequate. But I would like to begin by thanking each of you for trusting us with your loved ones. As I'm sure you did in the past, we cared for them over this last year. We treated this incredible gift with the utmost respect and care, as we would our very own family members. It is difficult to describe the impact that they have had, Of course, they allowed us the incredible opportunity to truly learn and study anatomy. However, what we might not have expected was to study the evidence of a life well lived. We spent time with your loved ones, time that we'll never forget. We studied the intricacies of each muscle, each vessel that nourished their bodies. And through this, we found tiny peepholes into their lives. For example, we came across pronounced muscle tone in the legs of an older woman and wondered if she chased her grandkids around the yard or if she was an avid runner. We noted long manicured fingernails as we held her hand to study the arm, and we wondered about the hands that she may have held and the people that she had embraced. We intimately studied her heart and reflected upon her great capacity for love and for trust, as she so graciously offered to be our teacher. We discovered illness and pathology, but I note this not to remember them in sickness, but in great strength. We were humbled by the incredible resilience and strength of the human body, by the body's ability to compensate for weaknesses to enable us to do the things that we love. The pathology serves as the evidence of obstacles that we encounter throughout a long life and the events that make us stronger, better people as we grow older. To say that we have grown over the past year is most definitely an understatement. I remember our first day in lab looking at each other across the table, discussing our fears, our excitement, and our reservations. Over the next 80 hours that we spent together, learning from your loved ones, we discussed our thoughts about life, shared ideas about the kind of life our donor had lived, about the incredible capacities of the human body, about loved ones that we have personally lost, and about our aspirations as future physicians. I like to think that we are here to honor people who played a huge role in these conversations, as well as in our growth. We built upon our foundation of compassion, empathy, and respect. As we discussed the selfless acts of our donors, we began to think about our own legacies and about the kind of impact we hope to one day have on our own patients. We are here today to celebrate and to honor life, to remember people who made a difference in your lives as well as in ours. We are here to offer our condolences for your loss of individuals who have also made a lifelong impact on us, individuals that we too cared for. We are honored to share in your final goodbye. And on behalf of the DO class of 2019, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for the profound privilege to learn from the greatest teachers we may ever encounter. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Keegan Dolfer, and I am the first-year president of the podiatry students. My first exposure with body donor programs came 2 years before I attended Des Moines University. At the time, I was working as an assistant nurse on an observation unit at a hospital, and as such, I found myself caring for patients who became terminally ill and in some instances passed away. Some of those patients donated their bodies to science, but as the whole experience was all so new to me, I didn't realize the great service they were performing as their last act in life. Sure, I recognized it as a noble gesture for the betterment of humanity, but I never really contemplated it much further than that. It wasn't until I became a medical student that I began to understand the impact your loved ones have in developing us into the best physicians possible. I wish that I could go back to those patients and their families to thank them for their sacrifice, to let them know that we will remember our body donors and the knowledge that they instilled onto us for the rest of our lives. And one day, in the very distant future, we will pass that knowledge on to the next generation of doctors and allow the cycle to continue. Unfortunately, I cannot go back in time, and I cannot thank the patients or their families, but please allow me and Des Moines University to thank you and your loved ones, and please understand that they did make a difference, and they will continue to make a difference. The decision that they made allows us to learn medicine and anatomy in a much more complete and thorough manner, and for that we are eternally indebted to them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Donor Memorial Service 2016. My name is Nathan Stocco, and I am the 2017 Physician Assistant Class President. I would like to personally thank Dr. Matz, President Franklin, faculty members, and students, and most importantly, the family members of the donors for joining us on this special day. It is a great honor to stand before you today representing my class to give you a firsthand testimony of the impact the donor program has had on our class, our professional lives, and our education as a whole. We all know the pain that accompanies the loss of a loved one, but it is evident that by being here today, we're all willing to learn and grow. As a wise and funny character from my childhood once said, "Ah, yes, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." Anatomy was one of our first classes that we all had together. It is the foundation of medicine and was the foundation of the relationships we formed amongst each other. The donors impacted us in ways we could never imagine. The bonds that were formed between classmates during these times will last a lifetime. We grew as a group and really learned what it meant to be a part of a healthcare team. Many of us would not realize that the generous act was more than just the educational experience until this class was almost over. This opportunity allowed us to become a family of 48 once strangers that now shared the knowledge and experiences that were so graciously afforded us through these donors. In terms of education, the opportunity has granted us all the knowledge we will need to help impact thousands of future patients. These donors have not only affected our lives and education, but the lives of our future patients. As we have gone through this year, almost every class can be related back to our days in anatomy. With this knowledge, we were able to better understand the intricacies of the body and relate them to real-life conditions so that in the future we can help our patients. Our education will be an ongoing process throughout our professional lives, but we will always owe a debt of gratitude to our donors, who were some of our best teachers. Not only did this opportunity impact our class and our education, it has also impacted us professionally. The donors were our first patients that would teach us professionalism. We cared for them. We learned from them. We respected them. We will continue to use these skills to impact all of our patients throughout our professional and personal lives. It is clear that the donor program has affected our lives in a positive way professionally, educationally, and as a class. Speaking on behalf of the Physician Assistant Class of 2017, we are all extremely honored and grateful for the donor program at Des Moines University. We are forever indebted to the donors and their families. I would like to leave you with one last quote from the famous author, Nellie L. McClung. "People must know the past to understand the present and to face the future." Thank you, and enjoy this beautiful day.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank you for giving me the privilege of joining you in honoring your loved ones. My name is Alex Stein, and it is an honor to be speaking on behalf of the 2018 Doctor of Physical Therapy students here at DMU. Today we have gathered here to remember and honor the lives of your loved ones. Although I know that there are no words to show exactly how thankful we truly are, I would like to take a few minutes to try to share our gratitude with you. The selfless act of your loved ones has impacted all of our lives in such a way that will even further go on to impact every single patient that we treat throughout our future careers. Your loved ones have taught us so much more than just human anatomy. They have taught us to always keep on giving. Very few of us do something as genuine as this, and even death didn't stop your loved ones from continuing to give to others. To the body donors, there's absolutely no way to repay you for giving us our very first tour of the human body. I can promise you that throughout our time together, I thought of the life that you lived, and I imagined the kind of person that you were. I was thankful every single day when I walked into that class, knowing that there was someone who believed in me. You believed in me when you decided to be a donor, and there's absolutely no other act quite as altruistic as yours. I would like to conclude my speech by sharing a few thoughts from some of our other members in the class. something from Lauren Sims. There are so many resources available to students here at DMU in order to study anatomy: textbooks, lectures, the internet, etc. It was not until we had this new, unexpectedly wonderful experience offered to us that we realized we had another resource to utilize: an actual human body. I don't think any of us expected us to be able to touch, feel, and see firsthand what the anatomy books had tried to show us, or what our teachers had showed us in the way that we were able to. Having this opportunity to study our body donors was a unique and very humbling experience that I think we will all be forever grateful for. Now we are able to visualize the human body from every aspect and every angle, and we will be better able to assess and treat patients in the future because of it. Because of each donor's generosity and selflessness, we as a PT class will all be better healthcare professionals in the years to come. We cannot thank the donors or their families enough for their sacrifice to our learning as growing physical therapists. Another member in our class, Lindsay Peters, shared, "Body donors have given us the opportunity to learn in the most unique way possible. They've taught us to treat our patients in a respectful, sincere, and comprehensive manner. Without their donation, we would be unable to become the professionals we are seeking to be. They not only gave us an unbelievable gift, but a learning experience that will never be forgotten." These comments from my classmates help illustrate that it is with great respect that we honor the donors who have given the ultimate gift to us as future healthcare providers. We greatly appreciate each donor, as well as their families, for this unique contribution to our future careers. We will be forever grateful. Thank you.
When
Hello, my name is Jane Crotto. I'm a first-year DO student here. In 2014, Admiral William McRaven spoke to a group of students outside of University of Texas on the day of their graduation. He spoke of his time as a Navy SEAL. He spoke eloquently with a few jokes sprinkled throughout his speech. Wearing his stark white summer uniform with pride, he told story after story of his arduous experience in the U.S. military, reeling advice gained through his time in service and hints about his personal sacrifice, his years away from his family, and his triumphs as a military leader. He instantly gained the respect of his audience. In the Navy for 36 years, he began his career as a simple ensign, attending Navy SEAL training in Coronado, California. Though he could have focused on the physical and emotional abuse him and his peers had endured during their time, he instead chose to talk about 10 pieces of advice that he had gained during those long 6 months he spent on the beaches just outside of San Diego. His first piece of advice was to make your bed every morning. Every morning. Pull the sheets tight, he said, tuck the pillow just underneath your headboard, and even add in a few hospital corners if you felt so inclined. Admiral McRaven explained that this small task, very simple, provided a bouncing off point, that this seemingly minute decision could drive you forward towards accomplishing your goals. He explained that it was the little things, the small details that ended up making a lasting difference that could impact your life and the lives of those around you. Explaining next about the different phases of Navy SEAL training, he told the audience about the hours and hours he and his peers spent in the water, maneuvering small boats in the rough waves only a few miles offshore. Every day, the boat crews formed up on the beach, each man taking up their position on the edges of the boat, each Navy SEAL driving their paddle into the depths of the murky water in unison, following the loud calls of the coxswain to stroke. Teamwork, he stated, numerously was key. If one man was out of sync, moving too fast or too slow, if someone wasn't pulling their load or rowing too hard, the boat would drift, veering off course. For the boat to reach its destination, everyone had to paddle. His advice was that no matter what you do in life, no matter what your goals, you need the help of your team, your mentors, your advisors, and your family in order to reach your desired destination. The society needed teamwork in order to prevail and to continue moving forward, like the bow of a boat breaking the waves, gliding across the water. Admiral McRaven and those like him wholeheartedly exhibit the ideal image of a military hero, a man willing to make the personal sacrifices necessary for the betterment of their country. He's a Navy SEAL, and he's a leader. He has the capability to inspire an audience with only a few anecdotes and pieces of advice. But there's another group of individuals that we are honoring here today who also exhibit traits worth recognizing, traits that I believe portray the characteristics that he highlighted only a few years ago. When he talked about making your bed every morning, he identified the difference small choices can make on your life and the lives of those around you. That it was the little things that build up upon themselves to produce a rippling effect dictating the course of your day. And it is the seemingly small decisions and often unrecognized choices of the individuals and their families participating in the Body Donor program this year that have also made a lasting impression. Their commitment to others has touched the lives of each and every future osteopathic physician, doctor of podiatry, physician assistant, and physical therapist graduating from Des Moines University. This undervalued, underappreciated decision will have reverberating effects throughout generations to come, influencing the medical community over the next 10, 20, and even 50 years. With the average American meeting over 15,000 people in their lifetime, a single individual has the potential to change the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, within the course of a single generation. This statistic illustrates the importance of teamwork. By participating in the Body Donor program, these individuals have clearly and will clearly make a lasting impression in medicine. Through their sacrifice, they are acting as the unsung heroes of our medical profession. And though they may not be outwardly recognized with parades or even television specials or thank you for your service from friends or people around them,
These members of our community devoted their lives towards the ideal of service, exemplifying the notion of personal sacrifice for the pursuit of a better tomorrow. An inspiration, they have impacted my career in the U.S. military as a future Army physician and the careers of my peers. And it is from Des Moines University that I would like to thank them so much for their service.
Good afternoon. My name is April Enos, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our story and why the Des Moines University Body Donor Program is so important to our family. First, I want to apologize. This might be a little tough for me to get through. 1 year ago today, we were sitting where you are. We were remembering my mother, Heidi Hagen, who also made the selfless decision to donate her body to this program in hopes of one day helping others. She was the most compassionate person I knew. She always thought of everyone else before thinking of herself. She wasn't only my mother, she was also my best friend. In 2007, my mom was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at the age of 48. This was devastating to our family as there was absolutely no hope for a cure. We also learned that when Alzheimer's is diagnosed at such an early age, the gene that developed the disease is likely to be genetic. Within weeks of Mom's diagnosis, my grandmother Edith Hagen on my dad's side was also diagnosed with the late onset Alzheimer's. And a few months later, my grandfather George Henderson on my mom's side was also diagnosed. Over the course of 7 years, our family watched my mom's health rapidly deteriorate. All too soon, she began losing precious memories until one day she no longer recognized the ones closest to her. She knew we were important to her, but she could no longer identify us. When the time came that she could no longer care for herself, without hesitation, my dad took on the selfless task and became her caregiver, as well as caring for his mother full-time, as she was also suffering from this terrible disease. In February of 2014, my mom lost her battle with Alzheimer's. Following her wishes, she was transferred to Des Moines University and entered the body donor program. At that time, she became a silent teacher for those who wanted to pursue an education and a career in the medical field. In 2015, our family contacted the University of Iowa Department of Neurology, where we spoke to Tiffany Greider, a gene counselor, regarding genetic testing. During our meeting, we learned the differences between the two forms of Alzheimer's: early onset, the form my mom was diagnosed with, and late onset, the kind typically found in the elderly, such as my grandparents. My sister and I were ready to move forward in the genetic testing until we were informed that unless mom's DNA had been stored, the test results would be inconclusive. Mom was considered to be patient zero in our family, and there was no way they could confirm the gene that caused the disease. Tiffany took our questions and our concerns a step further and reached out to Dr. Dennis Dixon, the professor of laboratory medicine and pathology in the research lab, focusing on neuropathology and microscopy in the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida. After hearing our story and Mom's wishes, he agreed she would be a good candidate for their research. He accepted Mom's case into their ongoing research, which includes Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and Lewy body, just to name a few. At this point, Mom was nearing the end of her time with the university, and I felt like I was in constant contact with Edward Christofferson, who is the anatomical coordinator of the body donor program. I'm sure the rest of my family agrees. It felt like we were losing her all over again. Without hesitation, he helped answer all of our questions and offered support during a very tough time. After he learned Mom was accepted into the research program at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, he made all the necessary arrangements for her brain to be transferred to the Eloise H. Troxell Memorial Brain Bank. I can't even begin to express the gratitude my family and I have for the opportunity the body donor program gave to us. Mom's wishes were simple. It was to help others. I hope that through this program, Mom's donation helped the students here with their medical education, and because of the support we received from Mr. Christofferson, we were able to take Mom's wishes further than we ever could have on our own. I believe Mom would be proud to know that she was taking part in the ongoing research that will ultimately lead to helping others. If you haven't already, I hope you find peace and closure in the coming weeks. Unfortunately, from my own experience, the pain never goes away, but it'll get easier as time passes. I want to thank you for allowing me to share my story and for supporting your loved one's decision in donating their body to the Des Moines University Body Donor Program. Without that, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you.
This concludes our ceremony today. We invite you to our reception. After receiving your refreshment, please feel free to come back up front and move the chairs around. They're not tied down, so move them around. Stay and share the stories of your loved ones with our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you all again for attending.